Well, we never do breaking news or I like to say emergency podcast, but this is kind of his one. So, Duncan Dad is MIA. I think he's going to be joining us hopefully soon, anyways. So I asked Jordan Freeman, "Are you free right now?" Because a major trade that affects the NFC East, and I could also say football and everything. Jordan, how are we doing? And what are your instant reaction thoughts as we are live on YouTube on the Upper World Podcast YouTube account and also the Twitch account of the Trevor from the 203. Jordan, how are we doing, by the way?
We're good. I mean, you called me as I was coming over the bridge at a great time. I got the alert at this. I got your text. I got the alert. I immediately tweeting. I said, "Keep Jerry Jones alive forever." That was my immediate reaction. One of my buddies said that the package that they got from Micah was similar to the Herschel Walker package in some ways, and Jerry said that nobody's bigger than the star, but clearly Jerry thinks that Jerry Jones himself is not bigger than the star, and only Micah Parsons is. But Jerry Jones has done irreparable damage to the reputation of the star. They haven't won in 30 years. There's not much more to say. And the Packers, they gave up who they gave up Kenny Clark, I think.
Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks.
Listen, 2 first rounders. Clearly the Packers have a new president who's not afraid to spend money. 188 million. I think it was 140 something guaranteed. Didn't really get into the weeds on it yet. But I think that the Packers, so long as they might have to bribe Toyota to make Toyotathon year round to make sure that Jordan Love is producing at a level that makes them, Super Bowl contenders. I think that defense gets much better and is on a whole nother level than it was before.
I never thought I was trying to figure out funny destinations for Micah Parsons the whole time. And I was looking at and there's something called Kenny Scoops or it's coming on as like, really the Packers, I don't see it. Then I was thinking like, could it work? Honestly, that there's 2 pretty much historical franchises and they're both making a trade, which never happens, I feel. And seeing David Mulligetta just bent zone like the Cowboys, like, we're not going to sign your deal. So it's either you trade us or we're just going to take insurance money because Micah's back is all messed up anyways, which is crazy. Am I right?
Yeah. So a couple things on that. I think, I think it came down to, yes, it's always about the money. Cash rules everything around me, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it came down to Micah at no point felt respected by Jerry. He kept trying to, talk to him in back rooms. He's like, I'm not going to talk to David, his agent. He's acting like he didn't know his agent's name, where David has, Mulligetta has so many Cowboys clients and has so many clients around the NFL. And just for him not to respect Micah, and he just said, listen, you knew he didn't want to be there anyway. He's been making all these appearances on these podcasts throughout the years. He's friends with a bunch of Eagles, but you knew he wanted to be anywhere but Dallas. I am very, 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 very interested, and I'm waiting with bated breath to see what comes out about Dak Prescott, because Dak isn't the answer. And Jerry has botched Dak's deal, Des Bryant's deal before that, CeeDee Lamb's deal most recently. Eventually, you're going to run out of money, and you're playing chicken. You're playing chicken, and you haven't won yet. So that's all I got to say. It's just that it's not good business practice. It's not good football acumen. Stephen Jones, I don't know if he's complicit in this. Somebody probably. I want to know who signed off on this. I think that's also important. Like, is it only a Jerry thing? Was he locked up with a cell phone, and he's throwing salt on his cold McDonald's? Or what's going on there,
It's crazy how, like, I thought Jerry knew what he's doing. At least he knows, like, make a good deal. When I look at this deal, you get 2 first-round picks. There's going to probably be at the bottom of the draft, probably in the 20s. Am I right? Like, you am I right? And then you have Kenny Clark.
Oh, yeah, it's you're going to get what, 22? Maybe next year they miss the playoffs, and like, what are you going to get? 16? Yeah. Right? Because they're always going to win 10 games. That's usually at bare minimum. Like, they don't have any wide receivers on the Packers, and I think
Marcus Golden is hello. By the way, they drafted a wide receiver. By the way, from Texas.
Yeah, they've got Matthew Golden, but I think behind him is Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed has a Liz Frank, and Christian Watson's out for the year. A Jones fracture. I'm sorry, not a Liz Frank. So you got somebody with a foot thing who's okay, and I think the rest of that squad is just a guy. So what are you really doing? Like Josh Jacobs, yes. Tucker Kraft, yes. Yeah. Besides that, what else are you really getting at that opportunity? Listen, I think the offense will be fine, but that defense just got eons better. Rashawn Gary's still there. Obviously, Jair Alexander, I think they shipped him out after he was doing
He's in
some dumb
Baltimore
shit,
now,
right?
anyways.
Yeah,
So
that's what.
I
Yeah,
like they have a new face of the defense, which is Micah Parsons, which is huge for the Packers. As when you look at the schedule, Week 4 Sunday Night Football, Michael Parsons return to Dallas. That is going to be a madhouse. I feel
I can hear Chris Collinsworth right the fuck now. Like, it just, here's a guy. It's gonna be the whole thing. And listen, I know Jerry likes a spectacle, but I don't think
he wants this type of spectacle.
Literally a week before the season starts, you have your first practice for week 1 tomorrow, and you're going into Philadelphia at the ring ceremony, at the banner raising, and you have to answer, your entire team has to answer questions about this. You have Brian Schottenheimer, who's a first-year head coach. Like, yes, he grew up in a coaching family. He's been around Dallas for the last 4 or 5 years. He's ill-equipped for this. I don't think the most experienced coach would be equipped for what the circus that's about to unleash right now. People aren't going to sleep. You got players who are going to immediately choose sides. You see it every day and every year with things. So it's a matter of what was your end goal? Are you rebuilding for 3 years from now? You can't get it out of that Dak contract for at least another 2 years. What's happening?
What are we doing here? What is Jerry Jones's plan? Honestly, because I don't think he has an idea what's going on. He's like, let me put out this Netflix documentary, an 8-parter that'll make me look good as anybody, and then have another docu series show on the Cowboys cheerleaders. Now we're doing this. Like, I don't think are we going to start saying this? Are we sure there's a succession plan that Stephen Jones is going to take over the Cowboys? Because we don't know when Jerry Jones is going to pass away. Are we allowed to say that?
You could say it, but I'm at this rate. The man's 88. The man's going nowhere. He's going nowhere. He shows up. He makes sure. He said, "This. I bought this team. It's my money." I don't know if Stephen Jones is the succession plan. There was all these stories about that Jerry Jones makes these decisions on his own. In the 90s, there's a great story about when he gave Deion Sanders the most guaranteed money and the biggest contract in history at that time, where Stephen Jones literally grabbed him by the collar and asked him, "What the fuck are you doing?" And Jerry Jones said, essentially he was like, "Oh no, this is my inheritance." He goes, "This is my money. I'm going to spend it how the hell I want to." And so I just think that Jerry Jones is going to come out. There's probably a press conference in the next couple hours. He's going to have some.
It is 4:50 in the Central Time right now, anyway. So there's plenty of time.
There's going to be some quote that comes out that's notable and quotable. We've gotten some good ones. What did he say? A couple years ago, about 5-7 years ago, he was lower than a cricket's ass.
Yeah,
glory holes. He's talking about all types of shit. I don't know how he feels, but I would love to hear what he compares it to.
I want to know what he compares. I would totally agree. Like, what is he comparing this to? Like, is he like, what's going on up there? Or is he losing it? Are we in Al Davis territory? Like, Al Davis made some bum ass trades towards the end of his career, anyways.
Well, Al Davis had. So this doesn't make sense, right? This doesn't make sense. Al Davis, at least you knew what you were getting because he was the same. He was senile at the end, but he was doing the same shit he was doing 20 years before. He was going, "Hey, you can't teach speed," right? No. Obviously, Darius Hayward-Bay and a bunch of guys like that.
Randy Moss from Napoleon Harris. Come on.
Right. It's like he was consistent with it, and like that's fine. But Jerry Jones has, at this point, shown that he doesn't really care about the football aspect of it. This is a business for him.
Yeah.
And so long as the Cowboys come close to the playoffs and they're competitive and they're on TV and the NFL continues to prop them up, he will continue to do this because he's got unchecked abilities to make some dumbass trades. And that is his right. That's his right. And so good on him. Listen, we're both Eagles fans. Like, yeah, I love this. I love this. The castle is burning. This feels like the White House in 1812 for the historians out there. I think it was Dolly Madison is running out of the White House, saving the art. That is Jerry Jones's wife, who owns the largest private art collection in the United States. It's at, the Cowboys facility. This is it's on fire. And the call's coming from inside the house. And the call is saying that Jerry Jones has lost it, but I am here. I will watch it over and over and over, and I won't miss an opportunity to laugh at it.
How do you think Jerry Jones is going to be reacted how do you think the Eagle fans are going to react to Jerry Jones week 1, which is literally next week at the Lincoln?
I think he's going to get a standing ovation. I think there's Why are you booing him? There's nothing to boo him about. Listen, every time he comes in here, he does something. He's going to make some bulletin board material. He's going to say something ridiculous. He's going to try and justify it. I don't know what he's going to say, but I think in his mind, he got him out of the NFC East.
But he's still in the conference, though.
Right. He got him out of the NFC East. And if he just would have played this year out, there's obviously always rumors of how he can move money around. I'm not in that camp that the Eagles should sign Micah Parsons. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
But there's always that opportunity, and it's there, and the possibility is there. And so now for at least 4 years, he's not signing with the Eagles. So I think in that regard, Jerry might say that's a win. It's a Pyrrhic victory. I don't see what positives you can take out of this. This is a bad defense last year. It's a defense that's gotten worse. Mm-hmm. Dak is going to have to throw 650 to 900 passes. And he's fragile. You don't have a running game in Dallas.
No, Javonte Williams. Okay.
Yeah, Javonte Williams, Jaden Blue, and I can't remember the third guy they got, but they got a bunch of
Miles
old guys.
Sanders too, by the way.
Yeah, I forgot him intentionally. But because I don't know if you saw speaking of Miles Sanders, somebody posted the career highlight of Miles Sanders, mm-hmm. which was that 60-yard run where he fumbled at the 1. And it was recovered by JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
No, the real best highlight of his career is pretty much the one he had in Buffalo in the pouring rain, anyways, and he did it from there. That's the only good highlight he had in his second.
Oh yeah, no, it was sarcastic because he fumbled at the 1. JJ Arcega-Whiteside recovers it. Carson Wentz is in the shotgun on that play, and mm-hmm. Jalen Hurts is like a gadget motion on that. It was crazy,
which is wild, anyways. So. The Cowboys we knew the Cowboys are dysfunctional anyways. How top dysfunctional is this now that they traded Micah Parsons? Like, did you think they were going to do this to CeeDee Lamb now? What's next?
No, I think CeeDee Lamb and Dak are fine, right? Mm-hmm. Dak is happy. You gave him a legitimate, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1.5, however you view George Pickens. They got a couple dudes at tight end. And the offensive line is kind of they're rebuilding that after Zach Martin obviously retired and a couple other dudes left. So I think offensively they're okay.
Yeah.
But I think to overcome what's happening with this defense, they need more than okay.
They need more than okay, and more. Can we have some players? Which, my lord, it's clearly insane what's going on in Dallas. Like how the house is, you said that the house is burning.
Yep.
The house is burning. Everything's burning. And Jerry Jones is he locked somewhere at least? Like, is he still in the house or where is he then? Is he still just going down with the boat like Jack Sparrow did?
No, I think but the thing is, he thinks he's on top of the world. And that's the thing about it. It's not that he says, this is on fire. He's like, listen, his whole thing was, hey, he's under contract.
Mm-hmm.
He has a contract. We expect him to play. But he always did say this would get resolved before week 1. And Jerry, being a man of his word,
he got it done.
He got it done.
But
I don't think anybody exactly. Nobody expected it to be done this way. Where
did you expect him to go if it was not Green Bay?
I didn't expect him to go anywhere. We've seen this the last couple of years. 2 years ago it was Dak. Last year, CeeDee got done around this time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know.
CeeDee was Dak was the day of the thing, anyways. It was insane, anyways. Truly.
So I didn't expect it. I didn't expect him to go anywhere. To be quite honest, what is he? 3-time All-Pro, and the only time he missed it was because he got hurt that year.
Mm-hmm.
And to go back to your question about what does this do for the locker room? It does I think it's even worse in light of what Jerry said during minicamp about,
mm-hmm.
Trayvon Diggs and a couple of these other guys who are injured, who says, we're paying these guys a lot of money and they're not playing. Well, yeah, they got hurt playing for a team that you own
mm-hmm.
while doing their job. It's not their fault that somebody tore their ACL or got a concussion. It's like football's a violent sport. So you're not going to support your guys. I think that's on you as an owner, as a leader, as whatever management, whatever you want to posit yourself as. It doesn't look good. And I think this, and look, every year the Cowboys should win about 10 games if Dak is healthy. This year, I think it could spiral. Hot take: Brian Schottenheimer could get fired by week 11. Like that's how bad it could get very quickly.
Yeah. So break orders reset. Micah Parsons traded to the Green Bay Packers for 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark, defensive tackle. They should get him more. It's insane. And when you look at it, like, you really think Schottenheimer's gonna get fired after 1 year or midway through?
Oh, absolutely. Right. You get out of this, you start to break it down, you find out a coach that you want. And what does Jerry care? And the fact that they didn't at least try and get Rashawn Gary out of this is also interesting. Like, get somebody, at the position who's actually good. Now you have 2 top 15 linebackers for the Packers up there. So we'll see how that works out for them.
It's truly insane. Really, truly insane. It's even more insane that Jerry Jones is losing it. And he just don't want to he doesn't want to deal with agents anymore. It's like, you have to deal with agents. It's like, David Milligan is can we say he's the current Scott Boras of NFL? Can we say that? Would you say?
No, so long as Drew Rosenhaus is there. Like, Mugoleta does very well. I'm not taking anything away from him, but people still fire agents to go to Drew Rosenhaus. So,
Johnny Manziel did it too. Anyways, he was a Drew Rosenhaus.
Right. So it's interesting because I think Jerry's the opposite of some of these like really soft college coaches, right? College basketball coaches in particular, right? Jerry doesn't want to deal with agents. Mm-hmm. And you all of a sudden you saw once, some of these players started getting paid, got NIL deals, whatever, a bunch of people started leaving saying, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Jerry says he doesn't want to do it. And then he tells you to fuck off. Like, he's not running from this. No. If he was running from it, he'd be like, hey, Steven, it's your team. I'm going to count money. And,
just be Scrooge McDuck.
Right. And fuck hookers and do blow. You know what I mean? You can edit that out. I forgot we're live. But we're
live anyways.
My bad. So, but like, it's a matter of like, where are you going? Like, what is the end game?
Yeah. What is Jerry Jones to get? Is it to be the number one franchise in estimated value, or win Super Bowls?
It's not win Super Bowl. It's clearly not win Super Bowls, and
it's winning the media. It sounds like the Miami Dolphins. Like, they like to win the science fair. The Dallas Cowboys, they like to win the media hype or the hype machine.
And Jerry says it. That's why it's Jerry's world. Players say, have said it. Why are we in Oxnard, right? We're in California for training camp. That doesn't make sense, right? It's not even like you're 2 hours away. You can't see your family if you wanted to.
No.
Every practice is open to the public, training camp and regular season, because they want to do these tours and they want to make money. Listen, the Cowboys literally just print money for Jerry. And good for him. Good on him. What they don't do is they don't print championships anymore. For a while, ever since he wanted to, and this has been happening since, you had Jimmy Johnson. Obviously, Jimmy Johnson gets fired. You hire Barry Switzer. You kind of goes downhill. And then what have you done since then?
You've hired Chan Gailey. You hired Dave Campo. You fired Dane Campo. You bring in Bill Parcells. You got tired of Bill Parcells, or Bill Parcells got tired of him. Bring in Wade Phillips. You bring in Jason Garrett. And you bring in Mike McCarthy, and now you bring in Schottenheimer. What do all those head coaches sound like?
Generic.
Very generic, have no personality, and puppets. Just control of all puppets.
Listen, I think there are people who are shocked that Jerry made a move like this.
Yeah.
People forget. What was that, 2003 or 2005? I can't exactly remember. I was significantly younger. Literally bought Drew Henson out of his Yankees contract.
04.
Thank you.
03, 04, one of those 2 years.
Paid him to get out of his Yankee contract to be the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
And cut Quincy Carter.
It's like, what else is showing you that this man doesn't have a vision, doesn't have a plan? And to quote Stephen A, if you're a Cowboys fan, you have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and led astray. For generations, led astray. So, and I call one of my buddies who's a Cowboys fan.
Should we call him right now?
He's not going to answer.
Call him right now.
I've called him a couple times. He texted me back, but
tell him to call him right now. We can have his
let me check.
reaction.
I don't know where my phone is. He's having a meltdown via text.
We need to have a meltdown of a Cowboy fan from up north anyway. So,
and the thing is, I made a joke about it because his now wife just had a baby, and did the baby shower thing, bought some diapers, but I bought a gag gift for the baby for the library. I bought the ABCs of Champions by Brandon Graham, and I said because he'll never see a championship in his life, and I feel bad for you because your father wanted to support losers, so I had to introduce that to his life. But yeah, that's literally kind of what's going on. It's insane.
That's insane. Well, the crazy thing is Micah Parsons got to return week 4. I know the Eagles play the Bucks that week, and I think that game's gonna be swept under the rug. Am I right, Jordan? Everyone's gonna be talking about Packers Cowboys for the first time being a real relevant rivalry. What's up?
You and I both know we need Eagles Tampa Bay under the rug. That's a game. Listen, you swore that off. You swore that game off in the last couple years. Everybody always my one buddy goes, "Hey, listen, Freeman, you're always afraid of some team." And I'm like, yeah, I'm afraid. I'm always afraid of something. And he goes, well, who's stopping you from repeating? I go, well, if we play the Bucks in the first round, there it is. So, I mean, listen, yeah, that's fine. But I think now, and the NFL loves this. Like the clicks that are happening.
It's good for Thursday Night Football next week, too.
It's phenomenal. Listen, people are clamoring for it. I think the other thing is, and I don't know what really is the catalyst for this or what's going on with this, the reason why this is happening. But I feel like this offseason, there have been so many more trades than we've seen in the last. Yeah. Usually there's one big trade that happens, like somebody trades a first rounder for a vet or something. But I feel like there's been a lot of even late round movement for guys or guys getting picked off of waivers and moving around. So I'm curious at kind of how these people kind of fit. So my question for you is, if you're a Cowboys fan, as an Eagles fan, what do you compare this to? There's been some moments in sports that we've lived through, whether it's Philadelphia sports or whatever. But what is this thing? I mean, because if you're a Dallas fan, right? Although most Cowboys fans are Cowboys, Knicks, Yankees,
or Heat,
exactly,
or but Cowboys, Miami Hurricanes, Miami Heat. Yeah,
if you're truly a Dallas sports fan, you've lost Luka, right, which was fleeced, and you've lost Micah Parsons in the same calendar year.
And one of the only good thing the team is good in the city right now is the hockey team, which is crazy to say, which is insane. Like, only thing I can think about when the Knicks trade Patrick Ewing probably towards the end of his career, even though that's like towards the end. Right. God, Boston with Nomar, that's another one.
That was a big one.
That was a big.
Me, I mean, I think as a fan, like, I think the Eagles cutting Djax, trading LaShawn McCoy. I do remember where I was.
Trading Donovan McNabb.
I think that Donovan, the writing was on the wall, at least for that one, I think.
Or signing of Michael Vick.
Yeah, but I wasn't. I think it was shocking, but I think like Donovan was still there. Like they did that whole 1-2, and then they traded him to They traded him to Minnesota,
Washington.
Or was it they traded him to Washington and then he went to Minnesota after?
Yeah, that's
But I remember when they traded LaShawn McCoy, I was like in family law, and I was like, for who? It was Kiko Alonso in a second, I think, and I was like, I literally everybody has their laptop because it's a Thursday night. And we always got out before Thursday Night Football. My buddy turns his laptop to me because I'm not on Twitter. I'm for once taking notes. And he goes, do you have Shefty's alerts on? I go, no. And he just like sends me the tweet and I look at it and I just literally walk out of class for like 5 or 10 minutes. Because I had to, kind of level set after that. But I mean, there's been some, I feel like Eagles fans have gone through it. Brian Dawkins, the fax machine not working and him going to Denver.
Yep, that's another one. God, I forget.
Jeremy Macklin's alleged whatever that sickness was. Yes. And then just also a fax machine issue. Fuck Joe Banner, by the way. Like, that's a guy who every time I see him say anything on Twitter, I'm like, bro, like.
You hated players. You hated drafted players. An icon.
It was insane. I was like, Joe Banner, what have you done for me recently? Or at all?
Nothing. Absolutely. Like maybe T.O., but we don't claim for T.O. for Joe Banner to get that trade.
And you bring in T.O. and you refuse to pay him. Say, oh, we're not going to pay. Like, who are you, the Titans? Pay the people the money.
Pay their money, which Joe Banner did not do anyways. I think I remember the Deshaun Jackson one. I was in a communications class, and shout out to Kat Ridgway. I haven't talked to her maybe 10 or 15 years. She elbowed me. As like, she's also an Eagle fan from Virginia. She's like, did you see the news? I was like, no, what's up? Check your Twitter. I was like, I think I had another Motorola. I think I threw it. And I just like, fuck this. I'm out of class for the day. And the Kiko the Kiko trade, I think I was walking into a radio club. I was walking into doing the old Trevor Harris show on college radio. And I was like, I had a segment ready to go. And I was like, well, I ripped up my old spreadsheet and people looked at me like, what happened? Like, Eagles traded the LaShawn McCoy to the Bills. I got my segment. The sports god gifted us something very well. Is your friend available to call, by the way? I got to ask.
No, I texted him. He didn't respond.
You should call him right now, actually.
Well, I would call him, but I don't know. The real thing is now that he's a dad and his child is so young, if I catch him at the wrong time, he's just like, you waking up the baby. And I'm not getting responsible for waking up the baby.
Well, you could put the blame on me. I could be the fall guy, is what Chris Carter would say.
Hey, you need a few fall guys.
You need a few fall guys. So, Jordan, what's your biggest take so far? Did you finish the doc, by the way? The Cowboys doc.
So I haven't started it yet. And so there's a reason for that, is because I knew that this weekend I have to go to Connecticut for some things, but I knew that there's no football
news anyways.
Right. I'm like, I'm probably going to be at my mom's house. There's no football this weekend. I have a draft Saturday, but I know I'm just going to be home. So I'm like, I'm going to leave this documentary so I can binge this. I don't want to spread this out. I want to enjoy it as it comes out. So I finished, Hard Knocks this week, got caught up, but yeah, have not started the documentary. I've heard it's phenomenal.
Yes. It's people are comparing it to the Last Dance, at least. Like the people.
And listen, I love The Last Dance. I love that history, the drama, like the actual perspectives, like just some of the clips I've been seeing have been phenomenal. I can't wait for, it really to take off I know the memes from the and clips that people are going to pull from that doc right now.
Oh my God.
Nuts on Twitter right now.
Oh, get ready for Bill Romanowski. There's a few quotes you're gonna some clips and stuff you may want to save anyway. So that is my thing. Is as a Connecticut guy supporting another Connecticut guy, no matter if he did steroids or not, allegedly. So
allegedly.
Shout out to Bill Romanowski. I watched 2 episodes one night. That I binged it from 1:00 in the afternoon till 7:00 at night. How about that? So
okay, you were committed.
I was episode 3 to 8, so I did 5 episodes. So I was full in, like I'm just gonna watch it. So I will have you on next week possibly, as I tease for next week's episode of the pod. You get a special. This is gonna go on the podcast feed anyways. Upper Bowl Podcast on Spotify, iTunes, everything. You get a special episode of the breaking news of emergency podcast. Anyways, we don't do many of these. I like to say this, Jordan. So.
Hey, listen, we're adults with jobs, so if the stars align, which it did today, it was phenomenal to get a piece of that.
That is breaking news, anyways. We do have jobs where some of us don't have to work anyways, or we have to cut up sound for Chris Greer at least from yesterday. Oh my Lord, do you have any thoughts on Chris Greer?
No, he's getting fired at the end of the year, and so is McDaniel, unless they make the playoffs. They make the playoffs, they can skate by, but don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. Enjoy a 30-minute media availability. I'm gonna tell you that 30-minute media availability. All right, Jordan. Thank you as our resident attorney. Where can everyone use you for attorney advice or anything when you're in a pickle, at least?
Pennsylvania, New Jersey. You can find me on Twitter. It's the easiest way to do it. At JJFree2381. My DMs are open.
Yes.
Does not constitute legal advice, but we can talk it through it. I can tell you what not to do. That's the easiest part to do, because you're not going to listen when I tell you what to do. So I like to advise in the opposite.
Shout out. Yes.
What up?
So everyone use Jordan because he's pretty good. He knows his legal advice, and I'll stay for the football takes and fantasy football advice. I have a fantasy football draft to go to, which was on my phone. And Jordan, since you did not join, it's an 8-team league. So sorry.
Well, it would have been 9, so it's a good thing I didn't join.
No, yeah, because we were scrambling for people. I was like, let's do 8 anyway. So Eric says hello, by the way. I'll tell you that for sure. He sent me a text. So, all right. For Jordan Freeman, I'm Trevor Harris, Upper Bowl Podcast, Special Edition Emergency Podcast. Micah Parsons traded to the Green Bay Packers. YouTube Live special as well in Twitch. So take care, be well, and enjoy your college football weekend. It's week 1, so enjoy and let the gambling begin.